It's Week 15 of the NFL. And coming up, we'll see the electric Kyler Murray. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Cardinals and the Broncos on EA Sports.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Glad to be enjoying another week of football. And Charles, this is a contest that should make a former defender like yourself very happy, that's for sure, because we got a pair of top 5 defenses in the NFL squaring off, and opportunities to score, well, they figure to be extremely limited.
And partner, you know my smile is wide because this is a lot of fun for a guy like me to watch, as you noted. And if there's something else that we both know that these teams take pride in, it's how well their defense have done at controlling games and putting them in a position to win. Something else they're proud of, though, how high they rank in the league. And they're trying to use this game to move up in those rankings and become the top defense in the league.
And off we go from Denver. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Arizona's offense takes the field, and no surprises, the man that's guiding them, the Pro Bowler in his 4th season at the wheel of this offense, Kyler Murray.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
First play from scrimmage. Here's Murray. And his first look is incomplete.
You're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Murray now. Eluding the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
Part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Time for our first look at the Denver offense, and of course the new face of the Broncos, 9-time Pro Bowler while in Seattle, Russell Wilson.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams.
Holding offense.
Quinn Miners, 3rd-round pick in 2021, called for the penalty. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Steps away. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. 4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and the Broncos the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now Murray. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And he's missed now his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Gets past one man. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Byron Murphy there on the tackle. The Broncos hit 12-1 now to start play. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
The kick by McManus is good. So that, Charles, all season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
So a couple of field goals now, 6-0 our scores. The kicks are away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, it's Murray. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now stands at 13. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. He's had a great season, plenty of touchdown passes, but that last throw, not one of his finer moments as it was returned for a touchdown on the pick-6. Now he starts again here, 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. 16 carries, 64 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the 1st down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. Oh, good move. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort?
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups in prime time tonight. Patriots and Raiders, that's in Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employer there. And then Monday Night Football, the Rams and Packers from what should be a frosty Lambeau Field at 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 locally there in Green Bay.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll fake it to Conner. Now Murray. And this will be swung out here for Conner. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Murray a give. This is Conner. And he struggles to get a yard here. Maybe a yard down to the 31.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Murray. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Murray. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Wilson. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals going to head back out. He was intercepted on that last drive, the third one he's thrown in this first half alone. And he'll look to right the ship here, 1st and 10. They start the drive with Connor. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Connor. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Murray going to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the first down sack. Murray to Connor on the check down. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
They run behind center with Connor. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And returning it, here's Hamler. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 32 on the play.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just have receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throwing is Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Andrew Beck in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. From the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin out in Southern California. The Chargers playing host to visiting Tennessee, and it's the Titans out in front in that one. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we take the long trek eastward to Tampa, check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Tom Brady has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cardinals, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. He'll get this to Hamler over the middle. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They run it again with Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of Walker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 38, Wilson. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuebu now. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 28. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. There's Wilson to throw. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Melvin Gordon. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. McManus now for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's Murray. Screen pass to Connor. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. Over the middle here to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A couple of first downs, has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Murray. This will be caught once again by Brown. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Murray to air it out again. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Murray now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now Murray's got to have this one. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, I guess an interception at this point on fourth down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
Well, the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at the 33-yard line. He'll hand this one off to Gordon. Stiff-armed him. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. And they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Up the middle, it's Williams. They find some open field here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the fourth quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Again, Gordon on 2nd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Meanwhile, Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance. The passing game's off balance.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep.